Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome. It is 10:35 a.m. right on the dot, and hopefully everybody has adjusted to daylight savings time, and you guys are on a good track to get going for the day, and that you aren't going to be crashing here from fatigue, losing your hour of sleep as you woke up this morning. So, it was kind of dark. I woke up and I'm like, damn, it's kind of dark. And then I forgot that it was daylight savings time. And I only have one clock in here. Well, two technically that I have to reset. One is on the microwave, and then the other is a old clock radio that's probably older than a lot of people. It's an old clock radio. So, but I've had it a long time. It's kind of special, so I keep it. But anyway, I have to reset that one. Everything else just kind of knows to reset when the time is right. So I was actually doing some editing work this morning, and I am tempted to continue with the editing, and I think I am going to pass on the editing, and I'm going to keep working on the horror story that I've been working on, the horror novel that I've been working on. I have made pretty good progress. I'm pushing up on about 60,000 words, and I've said that it's going to take me about 65 to 70 to wrap this story up. I'm thinking it's probably going to be closer to 65. Then if I throw the twist in there, it'll probably get up to 70. Maybe even a little bit above 70. So we shall see. I'm actually, the more I think about it, it probably will be closer to 70. But I'm at about 57,000 words right now. And so 70,000, you're talking another 13,000 words. Yeah, that's doable. But we shall see. So hope everybody is off to a good start again, as I said this morning. I don't know what projects you guys are working on, but if you guys are working on something, just go ahead and throw it in the chat if you'd like and share what you're working on. As I said, I'm working on kind of three projects right now. One that's done that I'm just kind of tweaking some things after submitting to some book publishers. Just kind of the process has made me rethink a couple things that I did. So I decided to go back and tweak a few things, mainly just trying to tweak those first three chapters to really just kind of tighten those up and just get a big hook in the reader right off the bat, a little bit more so. So anyway, been working on that. Other than that, again, I'm working on finishing up the horror story, and then I am doing the outline work that I need to get done to start the 5-part series, because I want to have 2 of those books in the 5-part series done and ready to go by the end of the year. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a 5-parter, and I want to have the first 2 done. So that's going to require a lot of work. But for now, I want to finish this up because I want to have this story done I want to have this story done by the end of the week. So at least the first draft of it done by the end of the week. So that's the goal. So I'm going all in trying to get that done here before the end of the week. So I have this is the worst desk chair that I have ever had. I probably need to tighten some things up on it because it just it doesn't stay locked into place, and it kind of annoys me to no end that it keeps doing that. So let's see. Good morning, Nazy41. I'm struggling with my writing, so I'm going to take a step back and try to get clear. I've made many changes and need to find my way through it all. I was thinking, have you thought about having a reader, somebody to read it and just give you a second opinion? Maybe you've already done that. Just kind of curious if you had anybody like a beta reader, somebody that can take a look at it and, give you an outside perspective on what you're writing and where you are. And I know I need to do that more, and I don't do that nearly enough. So, but for me, single life, is like it's just I'm just a lot. Don't spend as much time around other people other than work and certain just extracurricular activities, being out and being around sports and whatnot. So I don't have as many people, but that might be something that could be helpful, just to get a reader, somebody to just take a look at it, give you an outside perspective. I've done that before, and sometimes it is good to get an outsider's perspective on things. So just a thought. Okay, so the plan for this morning is I'm going to do at least 3 productivity sprints. I'd like to get at least 1,000 words done during this set of sprints. So the goal is going to be to get at least 1,000 words in. So that's what I'm shooting for, at least 1,000. And that's typical of what I'm able to do. If I get, 350, 300 to 400 per sprint, then I should be in good shape to reach that goal. Stretch goal, 1,500 words. We'll see if I get there. But those are going to be the goals going in. Oh, coffee over apples. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. And yeah, happy Sunday indeed. Hopefully everybody, as I said earlier, is not going to crash because of daylight savings time. I know that can be a little rattling for some people. So hopefully everybody is going to be able to maintain. Yesterday I had a really good reading and writing day. And I also got out, got some exercise, got some fresh air, did some photography, posted some photography on Facebook and Instagram. So I did a little bit of that. Got my fisheye lens. I'm just kind of addicted to it right now. Hopefully that'll wear off and I won't, overuse it. But I went out and got some of that and then played around with some lighting. So that was kind of fun to do that. I finished up I finished off one book yesterday, and I was pretty excited about finishing off that book. And I meant to finish off another book, but I did not get around to it. Actually, technically Saturday I finished off 2 books, right? Yeah, I think I technically finished off 2 books. By the way, my Goodreads goal right now, I'm at 18 books finished here, and we're at about the halfway point of March. So I have 18 books read, and this week I finished 2 of those books. And one of them was Leave the World Behind. They're actually both Book of the Month books that I had. And so I've been trying to catch up on my Book of the Month books. And so one of them was Leave the World Behind by Rahman. That was really cool. Kind of a creepy story, kind of a closed circle story with like a power outage and craziness going on, and a little bit of race and class issues in there. It's kind of an interesting story. It was actually a really fast read. I read it partially. I listened to it audiobook, and then I went back and I read parts of it that where my attention was kind of fading out, as it sometimes does with a audiobook. So I finished that one basically in about less than 24 hours. No, about 24 hours. We'll just leave it at that. And then Corolla Lovering, Too Good to Be True. I finished that one late yesterday. That was a fun book as well. It was kind of a weird story of this kind of bizarre triangle with an older man, a much younger wife, or a younger girlfriend, and then a wife, and there was a lot going on there. I would be careful. I don't want to give too much of it away. It was an interesting story. Multiple perspective stories are kind of interesting. So I kind of enjoyed it. It just sounded interesting. I heard a lot of people talking about it. And at first, all the reviews I saw were really good. And so I was kind of like, I need to go and move this up my TBR. And so I did. I moved it up. Then as I started reading it, some other reviews were coming in, and they were maybe not quite so positive. I kind of fell in the middle. somewhere in the middle of liking it, but not loving it. So I think many of you can probably relate to that experience. 1,000 words is a great, yeah, it is. It's a pretty moderate goal. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, it was a productive week. Saturday was really good. It was nice. I don't know what the weather was like for you out east, but it was nice. It was I think it was pushing like 60s, which some people are like, oh my gosh, if you're in like southern Florida, that's like, that's like cold. But it was nice, and a lot of people were out, people in sweatshirts and whatnot, just kind of out and getting some fresh air, walking. Kids were playing on play skate and people were walking their dogs and whatnot. So it was kind of nice. Me, of course, getting out doing some photography, which was really, really cool. Let's see. Yes, I have readers. They've read earlier versions. Their questions and suggestions were good. Yeah, I need to, man, I wish I had I need to get some trusted readers that I can work with. I used to have that. I guess my mom, she's really good at that. She's a good reader and she's a good editor. And I've had her work with me to read. So it was really nice to have her read some stuff. And then I had the mom of a friend once, I remember years and years ago, one of my first stories I ever wrote. And she read it and she had some really good insight. So it was good because that story that the mom of my friend read, it had to do with the sport of tennis. And so she had some experience with that. And so it was interesting to get her insight because she knew that a little bit better. And she was able to just kind of, tell you like some inside stuff that you might not otherwise get. So let's see. It's been in the 50s. Nice walking weather. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting you mentioned that because Friday night we were having some internet issues. But let me check some things here real quick before we get going with the sprints here. Hang on a second. Just checking a few things here. See if it's good on my end. Okay, I'm gonna apologize in advance for some noise that you guys are gonna hear once this gets going. So yeah, it could be.
I apologize in advance.
Okay, so it looks like it's probably a little bit slower. It looks like it is a little bit slower. I'm gonna see if I can work on that. But in the meantime, I'll try this and see if I can fix it. If not, then I might have to restart it and see what happens and to reboot some things. So let me see what's going on. But in the meantime, hopefully this works. Okay, so I just finished that session with 559 words written, and that was while battling the connectivity issues that I was experiencing. So, yeah, I had some significant connectivity issues that I was experiencing, and so that was certainly a challenge that I had to deal with there. But I still ended up with 559 words, so that puts me on track, easily on track for the goal of anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 words. It puts me on track for over 1,500 words, but you know how it goes. The next session could be challenging. So, welcome YS Books. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Much appreciated. Welcome back, author LaMonique Mack. Appreciate having you back. We had you here before, and it was great to see you in here. And hopefully, you're working on something cool, a cool project that you're working on, either one that you're continuing or one that you're beginning, and staying productive as well. So, let me get this off the screen here real quick. I'm at a really kind of a cool spot right now in the third act of the story, and I'm just kind of bringing it toward the end. And so it's really gotten tense and creepy and scary. And so I've been working on that and then reading a lot of examples of how authors have done that in these horror thriller type stories. And so right now I'm working on something, just had a scene that it was kind of like straight out of a typical 1980s horror movie. So that was that was kind of fun to work on that and to get that part going. So feeling pretty good about that one, and it's just interesting. You know, it's a little bit different to do a horror story, as I've mentioned before. Haven't really done that quite as much in the past, and really haven't done that at all. I've done some thriller. I've written thriller type stories, but never like a kind of a straight horror story. LaMonique Max says cooking breakfast and sprinting at the same time. That's nothing wrong with that. I had breakfast a little bit earlier. It was pretty basic breakfast. Yesterday I made breakfast casserole. So I woke up, made that. I've done it in the past, like overnight in the crock pot, and that can be good too. My crock pot is a little bit older. Like the newer ones are like dope. I mean, you can do like everything with these. Mine's a little bit it's old school crock pot. So I need to get one of these new like super technical ones where it's got like all these crazy functions and air fryer and slow cooker and all these things. So I need to maybe get me one of those. They had, what was in December, Amazon had, I don't even remember what they call it, but they had like one of those sales, one of those like lightning sales, and they got like these incredible deals. And so I had like the Ninja Foodie, the huge one, like is like either 6.5 or 8 quarts. I don't remember what it was, for like almost nothing. And so I put it in my cart and I'm like, you know what? I should buy it. Talk myself out of it, talk myself back into it, talk myself out of it. And then finally I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And they were like, boom, too late, sold out. I'm like, that's the second time that's happened to me, by the way. And this time I was legit going to buy it and I decided not to. And so the difference in price, I think, was like $70. It was a huge break. And I blew that one. Your boy was sleeping on that one. So, oh, sorry, let me get this one first. Yay for productivity. Yes. Yep. So things went pretty well with that session for me. So 559 words. I'm not going to complain about that. That was good. I was in a nice groove here. I know what I want to do. And as a writer, that's just one of the best feelings when you know what you want to do, you got your game plan and things are flowing and you get in a nice groove and you just don't want to stop when you get in that good groove. Let's see, doing some Sunday housekeeping right now. I have to do that later too. So I'm with you. I've still got to do laundry. I can see my kitchen from here. So, and it needs a little work. The kitchen needs a little TLC. So I need to work on the kitchen, and I'm also reorganizing some things here. This room that I'm in right now is technically the dining room, but I've turned it into an office. It actually looks like a jungle behind me, but I've turned it into an office. So I need to work on that. That's going to be, I think, one of my summer projects is to kind of really revamp this room, this small dining room, into something that is going to be maybe a little bit cooler. So stay tuned for that one. Breakfast casserole. Yeah, it's a pretty simple recipe. I actually found different versions of it on YouTube. A lot of cooking YouTubers, and I watch a lot of them because I do a lot of cooking. I like cooking, actually. I should probably like cleaning more as much as I like cooking. If then I would be like a perfect world. But it's a pretty simple. It's just it depends on the size. But you have your eggs and your buttermilk. I use buttermilk. And then whatever, if you like meats, you can put meats in there. You can put the two keys are like the eggs, some kind of milk or buttermilk, hash browns, and then it's like whatever you want to put in there. Like some people will put onions and green peppers in there. Some people put spinach in there. Some people put whatever ham, breakfast sausage, whatever. Those are probably the two. Like from a meat standpoint, those are probably the two that you most want to put in there, but it's good. I like it. It's really, really good. The crock pot is just, again, if you got a better crock pot, they put it in a crock pot, you put it in overnight and you put it on low for like 8 hours. And then if you've got like one of those really nice Ninja Foodie things, you can air fry it in the morning and then it solidifies better and it's really good. You use like different spices to taste. So some people put like garlic in there, pepper, salt, that kind of stuff. So it's good. Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. You'll find different recipes for it. The overnight one is really good because you can smell it when you wake up in the morning, and it's basically just ready to eat. And if you want to have like some toast with it or biscuits or something, and you do the recipe right, like you do like a 3 or 4 egg recipe, you can feed probably 3-4 people. So yeah, maybe I should start a cooking show. Maybe if I get my kitchen remodeled, I'll do a cooking show. Maybe not. You know what? Cooking YouTubers do really well. So that's that. All right. So there we have it. Let me go ahead and get ready for sprint number 2, productivity sprint number 2. So let me get that going. Get that ready here. Get the clock up on the screen. Oh, hang on. Let me see what we got here. Nazy says, yes, dining room is now my office due to COVID and working remotely. I do my writing in my bedroom. That's an interesting point. This is like my COVID office too, in the sense that when I need to really post up here at my desk, I can do it right here. And I've got the extra monitor over here that you can't see. And then I got my screen. So I'm thinking about buying another monitor. But this is a good setup for me. So matter of fact, I think I am going to buy another monitor. But this works for me. So I'm good with this the way it is right now. But I could use a little bigger desk to accommodate a lot of stuff. So that's something I'm definitely going to have to think about in the near future. So so I know what you mean though. But and then as far as writing, like I write sometimes in bed, I write on the couch in the living room, and sometimes I write here. Probably the most comfortable is probably in bed. Yeah, I mean, I would say in bed or on the couch. I can just relax on the couch, and I got the gigantic TV. I like to have background stuff going on. So here at the desk, I can do that. I can throw like my Hulu or Netflix or whatever on the screen, and then I can work here. So it's kind of nice having the multiple screens. Let's see. Yeah, air fryers are good. I got an air fryer. I got it's kind of a little bit of a janky one. It's not really a good one. But I want to get a new one. Like next time I see them and they have that Ninja Foodie thing, I'm definitely gonna I'm definitely gonna grab that bad boy next time I see it because it looks so cool. There's a online, there's a YouTube cook that I follow, and she uses it. She's the Salted Pepper is her name, and so she uses the Ninja Foodie, and she comes up with stuff. And you're just like, dang, it's like that. You know, it's like, psh. Like she comes up with some really cool stuff that she does, and I'm just kind of like, wow. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's just crazy. So I might have to go ahead and grab that, but because my air fryer is like yeah, it's just it's so I mean the thing is like moving that thing around is like a workout. So it's like you can eat and then if you got to move that thing around because I have a small galley kitchen, you got to move that thing around. I think it's like a workout to move it around. So you can cook and then get your exercise cleaning that thing and moving it around. Yeah, I know. I am getting hungry too, and I got a ways to go before it's lunchtime. So, yeah, you know how that goes. So, all right, let's get into some sprinting then, so we can shake free of this food talk here. Since this is not a food channel, could become one someday. No, it won't. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. Again, I had 559 words on my first sprint, so I'm feeling really good about that one. I don't know if I'm going to match 559 words with this one, but I'm in a good spot where I very well could because I know almost to the letter, almost to the last, first and last letter what I want to do. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. So let's see how this goes. All right, here we go. Okay, so I actually did even better this time. Oh, I typed 620 words during session 2, which again is even better than the 559. So that is a positive thing right now. Let me, yeah, so 620 words, which is, again, I'm pretty excited about that one. Puts me well over 1,000. So I'm at the goal right now with at least one more sprint left. So right now I'm shooting for 1,500 words. So that basically that would be another 400 to 500 words, and I'd be at that goal. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about that, and I hope you all are being productive as well. And I'll throw the question out here that I typically throw out there about what are you all currently reading? And hopefully, you guys are all reading some good things you got going on. As I mentioned, I just got finished reading Too Good to Be True by Carola Lovering. That was the last book that I finished. I finished that late last night. And then Rahman Alam's Leaving the World Behind. That was a book that I finished. I think I finished it early Saturday. I did the audiobook late Friday night and then reread some parts in the physical book Saturday morning and got a really good handle on it. So I was feeling pretty good about that. I mentioned that I am at book 18 finished of my Goodreads 2021 goal of 55. So I'm in really good shape right now in terms of my Goodreads goal for the year. I know some of you aren't using Goodreads anymore, and I totally get that. Goodreads is just convenient for me. And I'm stubborn, sometimes old school. When something is working for me, for what I need it to do, which is basically just to keep track of the books that I'm reading. And I know a lot of people that are on Goodreads right now. So that's something that could change in the future, but we shall see how that goes. So at 18 of 55, Goodreads has me at 33% of the goal. And we are only into the midway point of March. So I'm in really, really good shape for where I'm headed in the future with my reading goals. So that is that's a positive thing that I feel really good about. Let's see. Author Lamanique Mack says I'm reading Believe It by Jamie Kern Lima or Lima. Interesting. Very interesting. I am not familiar with that one. I'll have to look that one up. You definitely got me curious. As I recall, you had some good books that you were reading that were really interesting last time you jumped on with us. So I'll definitely have to take a look at some of those. Yeah, my reading goals, it's going well. I have, it's funny too, because I was in a little bit of a reading slump the last couple of weeks. I was really like 2 weeks ago, I was really busy. I had a lot of stuff going on. And then just overall, I had a lot of stuff going on and a little bit more work related directly last week. I had a lot of stuff going on. I was really busy. So I didn't get a chance to read as much. And I actually probably took a little bit of a step back in terms of writing last week as well. There were a couple of nights I came back and I had the laptop and I was in bed and I was writing and then I fell asleep with the laptop still on. So fortunately, I didn't burn myself up. That was good. But it was, just, a lot of stuff going on. So, sometimes you just got to take a step back from some things and you know how that goes. Let's see. Nazy says, yesterday I received Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron from a Goodreads giveaway. Have no idea what it's about. You won a Goodreads giveaway. Good for you. I have entered about a bazillion Goodreads giveaways, and your boy has been goose egg. I have been shut out on the Goodreads giveaways. And it's funny, too, because I know people who said they've won. I know some people who said they won multiple times. and I have yet to I've yet to get one. So doesn't mean I'm not going to keep trying. So okay, so Lamonique Max says she's a billionaire who made her money on QVC, a non-model type, but made her money in the beauty industry on sheer grit and everyday looking women for her models. Okay, cool. Yeah, that might be an interesting one to check out. Yeah, I do. I do a lot of booktube videos. It's funny you mention that because I have to shoot two today. I have to shoot at least my reading wrap up video for the week. So I have to shoot that today. And I've been slacking a little bit on it. My views have been down a little bit. So I was kind of getting a little bit discouraged, but I know I'm just going to keep plugging away at it and having fun with it. So I need to work on that. I need to get I need to get at least my reading wrap up. And I have a tag video that I already filmed that's going to go on Tuesday. So I have a Tag Tuesday video that's going to go on. And that was, I was tagged by Divided by Sight. And so I'm, putting that tag video, that's going to be posting early Tuesday morning. So could be on the lookout for that. Yeah, you should. You should think about it. It's there's some work that goes into it, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just a chance to, you can some people like put a lot into it. They got like real fancy cameras and lights and editing software, and you're editing in clips and overlays and all that stuff. And it can get really complicated, or you can just keep it simple and just you get your phone on a monopod or a tripod, or you can just hold it and you can just vlog and get some good videos done. So I would definitely recommend trying it. Just think about what your channel would look like and what kind of content you want to specialize in, because booktube can be as simple as it can be broad. So just look at where you fit in, or AuthorTube. There are a lot of people that do AuthorTube videos, which is a community that's more focused on the writer's perspective of books and fundamentals of being an author and whatnot. So think about a little bit of that. Mine is kind of a hybrid. It's kind of a blend of the two. So this is kind of like this. The live is kind of like more of my AuthorTube videos, and my booktube videos are the ones that I film and edit. All right, let's see. Oh, see, now I need to get, okay, there's a stream that I need to get to, huh? Let's see. Coffee Over Apples, currently getting ready to read Mistborn, hopefully today. Okay. I meant to keep up with you on that one, because Mistborn is one I've heard about, and I've actually been thinking about that one. So I'm going to keep my eye on you and on that one and be looking for some updates on that one. Yeah, you've won 3 giveaways. Wow. It seems like people who win them, I think everybody I've heard that's won has usually won like multiple giveaways. And I'm just kind of like, dang. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, yeah, I just won once. It's usually like people who win multiple times. So I don't know. I'm going to have to go study your Goodreads page and see if there's something that you're doing. There's some kind of way that you're beating the Goodreads algorithm that, or whatever, determines how you win those giveaways. Wow, 3. Wow, let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've entered so many of them too. Like, I've tried different strategies. Like, I've tried just with the ones that I really, really want. And then I went through a stretch where I just tried a whole bunch of them, even some that I wasn't necessarily that interested in. So, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Goodreads book giveaways, man. I've seen so many people enter them. Again, this is I keep striking out. So hopefully, one of these days, the ship will come in for me, as my mom likes to say. Let's see. I've got some AuthorTube videos up, thinking of adding BookTube. Yeah, I think, book marketing, especially for, self-publishers, I think that's a huge business. Like in my Facebook feed for my personal Facebook account, I'll see the algorithm is delivering me a lot of book marketing videos and platforms, ways to, for things that are resources for people who are self-publishing. So that's something that you should really strongly consider that. I would definitely watch that. So if you decide you're going to do it, just shoot me a message or something, and I'll definitely watch and support and chime in and check it out. So I've been thinking about doing a little bit more of that as well, because I'm looking at really ramping things up with book publishing and book marketing later this year. So I'm probably going to be more interested in that than ever, throughout calendar year 2021. I just give away a Kindle Fire. Oh, wow. Whew, that's nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good piece of bait there. That's a pretty. I see you did that through Amazon, I'm guessing. Oops. You could probably find me on Twitter, just my first and last name on Twitter. So you can just find me on Twitter. That's probably the best place to message me. I actually read my messages on Twitter now, since so many people communicate with me on Twitter now. And it used to not be that way. It used to be just on Twitter, it would just be like usually it would get spam in my direct messages. It'd be spam, and I'd be like, oh, whatever, and I didn't pay attention to it. But now I get more messages in there, so I got to pay attention to it. Nacy says it's very random. I can't explain it. I'm not even that active. Exactly. It's one of those things. It's like when they say, if you're single and you're trying to get in a relationship, a lot of people say that, well, just don't try so hard. Just kind of relax and be natural, and it'll just happen for you. So maybe I should take that advice. But then again, it didn't really work with dating either. So I'm not sure that it is a science. Yeah. So yeah, you can just hit me up on Twitter. That's probably the best place. Let's see. I have slowed down on posting booktube videos, quality over quantity. I agree. That's kind of where I am too. I guess I appreciate you. You tagged me. Oh, I gotta go find that. I must have missed that. Yeah, I've slowed down a little bit too. There's different schools of thought. Some people are like, you got to put out a lot of content, and then you get your watch hours up and you can get monetized and everything is just going to be happy. I definitely focus more so on just trying to just do better videos. And because I don't want to get burned out of it either. I know some people, some YouTubers, they get burned out, and I don't want that to happen either. So there was a stretch where I was cranking out videos, and I was like, you know what? Hold on. Let me slow down here a little bit before I get burned out. Let's see. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to check that out. Good. I'll have to check that out because I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I think she was talking. Well, yeah, I mean, on YouTube, it's you mention people and they see your videos. It's usually people who are like following their subscribers, and they see you. And then sometimes, people, they'll tag you, quote unquote, tag you on YouTube, and then they'll tag you on Twitter as well. So just to make sure that you get the full picture that's happening. So let's see. I've been MIA for a while on my channel. Busy writing my series right now. Excellent. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned series, and that's kind of where the trend is right now for a lot of writers, for a lot of authors. And so with the series that I'm going to start, I need to, I want to get the first 2 books. It's a 5-book series. And so I want to get the first 2 done. And I'm going to really jump into that after I finish this book that I'm working on right now. I really want to jump into that. I want to get 2 of those books written for sure before I even look at publishing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now too. So I don't know if that's going to be your strategy too, but I was watching, what's the author tuber's name? I forgot his name. Michael Rahman. And he was talking about one of the trends. I can't remember the name of his channel, but that's his name. And he does a productivity sprint like this. He does it once a month. And he was talking about, in a series, like a lot of times it's good to have at least 2 books written in the series before you publish, and that gives you a better chance to see if you're going to be able to get momentum going for the series, if people are starting to bite on it, and if people are interested in more and in following the series. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, Steph says, I mentioned them in the video, add them in the description, and then add them on Twitter. That is very thorough, as I would expect from Steph. She is on it. Let's see. I just took Sarah Cannon's class, and she highly recommends series as a marketing tool. Her class is excellent too. What platform is that on? This Sarah, I presume Sarah Cannon's class, is that on a particular platform? I took I don't know why, but I bought a James Patterson masterclass on book writing. It was really good. It was through the masterclass website. It was really good. I think the prices have gone up on those master classes now, but I still have that one, and it's good. Every once in a while I go back and look at it. It came with a nice workbook, and it was really, really cool. So but it did cost some money, but it was cool. It was a good class. Let's see. She goes by Heart Breathings here on YouTube. She uses Teacher. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so that's on YouTube. All right. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Boy, you are bringing the information here. I appreciate that. LaMonique Mack is on her game today. You are definitely a prized new recruit in this community here. So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, you know what? Burnout is real. And I felt like, I'll be honest, I felt like, it was probably in November. I think it was in November, or maybe I think it was in late November, early December. And I was filming a bunch of videos for year-end videos, like, best book, worst book, surprise book. So I did all these videos, and part of the reason I did that is I just this is going to sound almost counterintuitive, but I felt like I was getting burned out a little bit. So I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film a whole bunch of these videos like in early December, like the first week of December, and then I'm just going to schedule them to post, and then I'm just going to not film any video. Matter of fact, I didn't really film any videos for about almost a month. For probably like a month, I didn't film any videos, because I just wanted to just take a step back and just relax, and just kind of just kind of hopefully offset the possibility of burnout. So I hear you there. Let's see. I just noticed BookTube is part of your tag. And I'm like, yeah, I took it to mean, the set up the camera on a tripod, you got your ring light, and you film, and then you take the memory card out, and you put you can put the memory card in one of these little things, and then you edit it in, Adobe Premiere, and voila, you have a video. So that was kind of where I was going with that. But yeah, if you look at the channel, if you're not subscribed to it, I recommend checking it out. I've been doing them for a few years now. So some really interesting stuff. I read a wide range of books too. I read like, nonfiction stuff, books about, classism, racism, sexism, historical books. I used to be a big true crime reader. I'm actually when I initially started reading, I think when I first got hooked on reading, it was true crime. I read a lot of true crime books back in the day when I was a teenager. You can tell it's been a long time since I was a teenager, but I read a lot of true crime books. And so, but I read a lot of that. And then I evolved into reading more fiction. I started reading a lot of Stephen King books. Then I started reading his wife, Tabitha King. So, it started like that for me. And so, I started doing, and when I looked at BookTube, I'm like, man, there's a lot that I can talk about just because I read a lot of different things. I read a wide range of things. And then at the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I wanted to add doing more fantasy and science fiction. And so I need to read that next. I read A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I need to read the next book in that series. I did like the characters. So I'm definitely interested in that. Okay. I follow the same strategy with my art, have 3 to 4 solid pieces in a series before applying to exhibitions. You never know who will ask for more. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to be the approach. I want to have 2 in hand before I really start to pitch that, because I'm seeing that a lot of publishers are really asking. A lot of agents and publishers are definitely asking, is this part of a series? What do you have done so far? I've wanted to check out Masterclass. From what I hear, they're worth the money. I've watched several of the Heart Breathings videos. She's good. Yeah, Masterclass is good. I liked it. It was really good. Like I said, I did James Patterson. I can't remember what it was actually called, but it was a writing class. It was a novel writing class, and he was very good. He was very good. He's a good speaker. He is. I don't know if he's a teacher by trade necessarily, but he came across really well from a teaching standpoint. And I felt like I was learning. They give you like a workbook. You can print off the workbook and you can follow along with each class in the course. There's a section, there's a workbook that you work through. And then you had a James Patterson book that you read. The book that we read for the class was Honeymoon, which was a good book. I enjoyed it. And there's a part 2 to Honeymoon as well. So I haven't read the sequel to it, but Honeymoon was good. I really liked reading that book. It was a good little mystery book that was a good one. So yeah, I like Masterclass. It could be a little bit. I can't remember what it was priced at the last time I looked at one, but I saw some Masterclass that I was interested in. And then once you buy it, it's yours. You have it. Like I can keep pulling up that James Patterson class. You just own it, and you always have that access to it. So that's a cool thing to always have. All right, let's see. I definitely want to soak up some writer classes this summer. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's funny you mentioned writing classes, and I might do some of that too. But I'm definitely gonna be focusing on publishing. So when you mentioned that about your YouTube, about marketing, book marketing, I think those are things that people are really eating up. From what I've seen, in terms of AuthorTube, BookTube, YouTube. So there could be some room in that market. That's interesting. I'm planning on branching out to cozy mysteries under a new pen name when I'm done with my series. Yeah. Cozy mysteries are kind of cool. I like reading them a lot. I just kind of grew up with that a little bit. My dad wasn't much of a reader, but he liked to watch kind of cozy mystery TV shows and movies. And so he kind of got me into it from that perspective. And then my mom, she kind of she's more of a reader. She's much more of a reader. When I was a kid, she had like, she would have been. This was way before. This was way before YouTube, but she would have been. She could have been a nice booktuber because she is a big time reader. She still is. I mean, she still reads a lot of stuff. I get some of her books. She actually reads James Patterson, which I thought was interesting, and she reads a little bit of John Grisham. I don't read as much John Grisham. I haven't read John Grisham in a long time. Actually, I can't remember the last. I can't remember the last time I read a John Grisham book. It's been a while. Maybe The Pelican Brief. It's probably the last John Grisham book that I read. Yeah, that's so cool. It's a new genre for me. I just learned about cozies, rented the Hallmark. That's a good place to start, the Hallmark Mystery Channel. It's funny. I watch Murder, She Wrote because I grew up watching that with my dad when I was a kid, and so he was a big fan of that show. So I watch it, and of course she's the fictional character. She's a mystery writer, and so she ends up in all these mysteries, and it's just kind of interesting to see how they lay out stories and how the mysteries come together. And it really is inspiring. I watched some of those, and even episodes that I've watched a bazillion times. It's like you see different things, like, oh, I see what you were doing there, and so you get that aha moment, and it's just kind of cool to get that moment. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to see that. Yeah, Murder She Wrote it's just a favorite. I love Murder She Wrote. I watch it a lot. You know, it's on IMDb through Amazon, so I watch it. You have to deal with commercials, but it's really cool to have it there to watch it. And then there's some other shows from back in the day that you watch, and some of the episodes, like some of the cop detective shows, you get like some really cool stories. There's one the TV show Hunter from the 80s. It was where they were two police detectives, and there's one episode they did, and I'm like, man, that would make a great book. So I'm like thinking like, the wheels are kind of turning there a little bit. So yeah, you get those aha moments. They just jump up on you. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where it is. So yeah, it's kind of cool, So anyway, it's something to think about with those resources, because like I said, I'm going to definitely work on publishing this year a lot more. So publishing and marketing are two things that are going to be major focus for me moving forward this year. So there's going to be a lot of work to do. That means there's going to be a lot of writing, a lot of editing, a lot of pitching. So I'm going to definitely work on that. And that could mean, kind of like, what Steph was talking about earlier, Coffee Over Apples was talking about earlier, that, you just got to balance things out a little bit. So that you don't get burned out in one area, because I definitely want to work on getting some of these stories. I've got like just a bazillion stories that are just sitting on the hard drive, and some of them are really, really good. So they just need to see the light of day. All right, let me go one more writing sprint, and then I'm gonna take a break and maybe go get some lunch here. So we're gonna go with productivity sprint number 3. Let me go ahead and get the timer up here. So if you all got your project that you're working on, go ahead and step to that right now. If you're working on lunch, that is good. I got to figure out what to have for lunch and dinner. I know I'm going to make you guys hungry again. I got to think about what to have. I got my groceries are coming here pretty soon, so I should probably look on that. They're probably messaging me right now, asking me what I want to order. So let me go ahead and get this started right now. Okay, so for the last sprint, I got in almost at 600, 729 words. So I got on a nice roll, and that's even after going and getting my groceries off of the porch and bringing those back in. So I did pretty well, all things considered. So definitely got over the 1,500 words that I had intended, which is a good thing. So, all right, let me see if I caught up on all the chats here. I know we were talking about old school TV shows, and some of those episodes are just great little mini mysteries that could be turned into stories. And I was watching one the other day, and it was actually based on a book, which I thought was kind of interesting because it was a really cool episode. That's a really good strategy. 1 year work focused, then 1 year on promotion focused, unless you're a machine like Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson, you know what? I thought, and he still does. I thought, man, James Patterson's got a lot of books out there. But then you look at Brandon Sanderson, you're like, man, and Brandon Sanderson's got like books that are like 500, 600, 700 pages. And then he's got little novellas that are like, really, really short. And so dude is a machine. He is absolutely a machine. He and James Patterson are like two of the true machines in publishing with what they are able to do. So I think I've mentioned one time on one of these videos that I was watching a James Patterson video, and he was being interviewed by someone for, I don't know if it was for a segment or for something or other. And James Patterson was showing him, he had this large like bookcase, and it had all these drawers, and he was opening up all these drawers, and each drawer was like, I think there were like all these unpublished stories that he had. And I'm like, how? Like, how does he do that? Like, I mean, that's like, to me, it's got to be like, now he makes a good living at it. So he can afford to work, 24/7 if necessary on his craft. So I don't, financially speaking, I don't have that luxury just yet. So, yeah, Brandon Sanderson's a machine too. He is. Let's see. Nazy says, I've been outlining for the sprints. I feel good about it. Hopefully that will help me move forward with my writing. Absolutely. Author Lamonique Max says 313 words. Very good. Nicely done. So good work by everybody. And let's see. Says outlining helps me a lot too. It's like, it's like it's a guide. It's like, it's like a map in case you get lost. A map is a good way of putting it, because if you're taking a complicated path from the beginning to the end, but there are a bazillion alternate routes that you can take, some that lead to good places, some that lead to bad places, some that lead to better places, some to not so good places. And so it's good to at least start out with a good, strong outline, because you're almost always going to deviate to a greater or lesser degree. So if you start out with a good outline, then if you decide you want to go in a different direction, but that's not working, you can always come back to the fundamental outline that hopefully you've thought out pretty thoroughly. Yeah, James Patterson, both. Yeah, he does. He co-writes a lot of his books. Some of them more and more. I think there was probably a period where almost everything he was writing was co-written. And then also, like I mentioned, the masterclass that I did with James Patterson. I think one of the things about that masterclass, I think he was going to pick. I think he was picking a story that you were working on to co-write with him, but it had to be like in his wheelhouse, what he writes. But yeah, James Patterson does. He does work with. You can see several writers that he's wrote multiple books with. I can't remember some of the names of some of them, but yeah, you're right. He does. Most of the ones you recognize, they're just written by him. I think the Alex Cross books, I think, are his. But some of his other books that actually I discovered James Patterson for were co-written books. So yeah, so James Patterson does get a little bit of help, and I started to wonder. Now that you mention it, I started to wonder because he had so many stories. I got to find that video. I wish I had that video handy so I could just pop that in the chat and you could see just all these videos or all these books that he had. And it was impressive. I have to admit, I was like, man. Let's see. The outlining definitely helped. I've been stuck for over a week. Now I have a better understanding of what needs to happen next. Good. That's excellent. Yeah, that is great that you made that level of progress. And sometimes that's what it takes is just to sit back. Like I'll tell you honestly, in all the stories that I've written over however many years that I've been writing since high school, I think the times that I've gotten stuck, if the times that I've gotten stuck with stories that I really feel good about are stories where I didn't have an outline. And I got stuck, I got frustrated, and then I ended up abandoning the project. So I do use an outline. Sometimes I use a more in-depth one than other times, but yeah. Yeah, Tyler Perry has a large output, and some do question the quality of his work. Now, Tyler Perry, it's interesting you mentioned Tyler Perry, contrasting him with James Patterson, because Tyler Perry, I saw or read somewhere that he does not have a writer's room, that he basically does everything himself. So he is the writer, editor, publisher. Now he's made a lot of money, and he's made some of his movies have been kind of interesting. I found Tyler Perry through the Medea movies, the first couple of Medea movies, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion. But yeah, Tyler Perry, he does everything in terms of writing. So I think he said something like, I know what I want, and it's easier for me to just do it myself than to have people not do what I'm looking for, and then just kind of, I guess in his mind, wasting everybody's time. So, I mean, to each their own. I mean, he's been successful, with what he's done. So, what can I say? Yeah, some of Tyler Perry's stuff is very good. Some of it is, could have been better. Could have been better. Let's see. Coffee Over Apple says, when you can work on your art 24/7 without worrying about a full-time job and bills, I would be exactly. I mean, that's his job. I mean, that's his job. It pays the bills and then some. So he definitely has that luxury. I don't have that luxury. Most of us do not have that luxury. So, hey, I mean, James Patterson and Tyler Perry, I mean, congratulations. That's good stuff, man. I mean, you can do it. That's great. I mean, I envy them. I wish I was at that point that I could do that, because I'd be going to town. I'd be on some Brandon Sanderson, some Tyler Perry, James Patterson. I'd be doing all kinds of stuff for sure. I will say, one thing I will say about James Patterson, though, he has opened the door to help authors get published. I mean, his name is attached to the story, no matter how much the co-author wrote. So, I mean, that's a small price to pay for getting your name out there and attached to a book that is going to sell. Let's see. Last year, he posted a video showing all of the scripts he writes alone in the public response. I remember that. Yeah, he had a lot of scripts, and they were all written by him, and he caught some heat for that. Because I think a lot of people feel like, man, you have such a huge platform, you get this huge studio down. I think it's in Atlanta, and he could create some opportunities for writers, and but he's got to do what he's got to do. It's that's the privilege of the position that he's created for himself, is that he can do that if he wants to. But yeah, he did. He got some smoke for that. He did. He definitely got some smoke for that. He was like, I do everything. So he's like, it's my show, and like I said, he's successful with it. So you can only hate on him, You know, you can hate on him, you can criticize him, and some of the criticism he definitely deserves. But you know, he's been successful. I mean, that studio is unreal. I saw a map of that studio. I'm like, it's like a city. You know, it's like, man, it's incredible. I mean, Tyler Perry came from, you know, like the Drake song. He started from the bottom. Now he's here. I mean, so he did it. You know, like Frank Sinatra used to say, he did it his way. You know, so good for him. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to admire there with him for sure, as is with James Patterson, Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is, you know, when I watch Brandon Sanderson does a lot of videos, he talks about writing, and Brandon Sanderson's kind of an everyman. He's kind of really cool to watch. It's like somebody you just run into at the grocery store. So, so he's I find him kind of fascinating to listen to. Because of the volume of work that he does, and yet he still at least conveys a sense of humility, which is kind of interesting these days. Create opportunities and improve the quality. Yeah, I mean, that's what it should be about for sure. And hopefully he will, you know, get better, you know, in terms of quality. But again, it's like his audience likes it, so. If he's giving his audience what they want, I guess in his mind, then it's all good. It's all, as they say, it's all Gucci, I guess they say, you know. So I don't know. Good stuff. All right. I'm going to get ready to close it out because I got to get ready to get me some lunch. Breakfast seems like it was forever ago. I woke up really early because of the time change kind of threw me off rhythm early this morning. So I got up kind of early and got going with things. So I'm going to get ready for some lunch here pretty soon. But I'll stick around here for a few more minutes and see if you guys got anything else you want to add. Let's see. Coffee over apples. I feel a bit uncomfortable with creatives who majority outsource their work. Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for that. I mean, because, you know, the interesting thing, I assume you're talking about James Patterson. The interesting thing about James Patterson is the people that he co-writes with. I wonder. I mean, they obviously get that on their resume. I wonder how much of it'd be interesting to interview them and find out how much of a benefit that some of his co-authors get. Again, you know, from working with James. So it would be interesting to see how much of a benefit they get from that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we had a really good, enthusiastic group today. I'm definitely grateful for that. It was really great to see a lot of people jumping in and being very engaging today, and that's always fun. It just makes it a lot more fun. Let's see. Steph says, I feel odd claiming something is mine if I had a hand in anything less than 50% of finished product. Yeah. You know, the interesting part about that is I'm wondering with a lot of those co-written books what the percentage breakdown is. Because, I mean, some of them, you know, I know the masterclass one, it was like, you know, you have a fully written story and you could submit it and, you know, be considered as a co-author. But yeah, my stories aren't really James Patterson type stories. Gosh, what was the story that I wrote for that class? I can't remember what was the story. I gotta see if I can go find the story that I wrote for that class. It wasn't. Oh, I remember the story I wrote. Yeah, it wasn't really James Patterson type of a story. So that's probably why I didn't get chosen. Let's see. Good sprint, good discussion, good company, good writing. Yes, yeah. I'm glad to hear that so many people were productive. So that was definitely a positive thing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it next week. So next week, for sure, next Saturday at 10:30 a.m., you can count on that one. And then we'll see about Sunday. Sunday, sometimes I play it by ear. I'll let you know probably by the end of the week. Usually Friday is when I post the videos. So be on the lookout for that. But for sure, I plan on being up here on Saturday morning, next Saturday morning that is the plan. So I won't say for sure because you never know. Things happen. But if I can't do it, then I will definitely let you know, because I almost wasn't able to do it yesterday. I wasn't almost able to do it because I lost internet Friday night. And I'm like, if it's like this and I have to operate from a MiFi, that's not going to really work for StreamYard. So that's how that goes. All right. So that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks to everybody who came out, who joined in, who participated in the chat, who participated in the productivity sprints. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the more fun chats that we've had. It was a great session. Appreciate it. And look forward to checking out your channels during the week, as I typically like to do. So I'll be on the lookout for content that those of you who are producing content are putting forth, and we'll continue to all just support each other. And if you guys ever want to contact me, my Twitter handle I put in here earlier in the chat. You can message me directly, or you can tweet at me, whatever you want to do, and I'll be responsive and catch up with you and chat with you as we need to. So, all right. So everybody have a good rest of your Sunday. If you got stuff you got to get done, like me, I got to get laundry done at least. And I got to get some kitchen cleaning done too. So hopefully everybody has a good, productive rest of their day. And I will see you guys when I see you. Be on the lookout for more videos up on the channel this week. I have a Tag Tuesday video that's going up on Tuesday, obviously. And then I am filming my weekly reading wrap up that hopefully I'll be able to get up there pretty soon. So with that, take care.